Hi, Robin with Oxy-Dry, and I thought I'd just show what I typically carry in my spotting kit, and some people have asked me what I'm using, so I'll just kind of show you how I have it set up. This is just a toolkit from, I guess it either came from Canadian Tire or maybe it came from Home Depot, I'm not sure. Can't remember that. It's been a while since I bought it, but it carries everything that I need, and it has two hooks on each side, two rings, I guess. And I actually hook a strap on there when I'm going into a condo, and I can carry this over my shoulder while I'm bringing in my rotary and my vacuum. There's a fair amount of stuff in here because I like to have everything that I might expect to use in the home, and I don't want to be running back to my van, particularly when I'm doing a condo. I don't want to be running back to the vehicle and getting one thing or whatever. So virtually anything that I might need is right here. So we'll start off with the, over on this side, I have some spotting towels. I have a moisture probe in here, which I virtually never use, but I thought there's occasions when I might want to use it. So that's right there. And I also keep my handy dandy little device for explaining refraction and what happens is the carpet gets wear on it, the abrasion that dulls the fiber and doesn't reflect the light. So that's a handy little tool to have to explain to people what happens as the carpet wears. Spotting towels, obviously. On the end over here I have a little agitator for whatever I might need it for. It's handy there, just held on there with a carabiner. Hang on a minute, there we go. And a tapping brush. Almost never use that, but it's there. And over on this end, I have nothing. On the other side, there's a nice handy little pocket, and in here I have a pair of pliers just in case something breaks, a multi-screwdriver, and an extra pair of scissors for whatever, and two fiber pads, which I use. Oh, and a pair of pliers are in there as well. So I carry that just in case. So that's all in there. That zips up, holds it in place. The fiber pads would be used on the doodlebug. There's the doodlebug, and if you notice, you'll see that this doodlebug is actually modified so it's a little shorter. And the reason is because these particular microfiber pads, which I carry, I have extra ones actually, kind of over there. They're a bit short for the original configuration of this doodlebug, so I just cut that back. And anyway, this is handy dandy for certain small corners and edges and the risers of steps. I either use this or the fiber pad. Do that by hand when needed. So that sits right in there. Then over here I have a little brush for getting edges and corners and whatever. Grandy brush.
Are you talking to somebody?
My wife. Anyway, so what else have I got? The Grandy groomer. That's what I use for grooming steps and small areas or whatever. Handy dandy. I actually have a couple of spatulas in there for certain applications, and actually they work really well for getting under for wedging a door if you need to. Get a little bit creative with that. And then this brush here for, again, it's as soft as a horsehair. I guess that's a horsehair brush. Actually, I use that mostly for doing fringes. And then I have my scissors, my duckbill scissors here. I actually normally have them on the back of my rotary, but I sometimes put them on here. And I got a little sheath there that clips off of there and can go up my belt. If I run into a job where there's a lot of sprouts to deal with, which occasionally we might run into. I carry quite a number of, I got what, 8 or so sliders, and then I also carry gliders. Now, although I'm not using an orbital machine, this particular glider is used under the center of my rotary, because my rotary is a center feed, and the solution, when it comes down on top of the pad or whatever, when it hits the top of this, which is sitting in the center, will deflect, and it just works a little bit better for applying the solution down through the center. The gliders are used, I could use the gliders for that as well, but in some cases, I do use my orbital, of course, so sometimes, and I have them in with me all the time, but in some cases, on some carpets, I will actually use the glider, because some carpets, there'll be so much grip on the carpet, so putting this in the center of the whatever pad I might be using will relieve that friction, and there are cases where I might have to do that. Then as far as the actual spotters go, I carry this. This is actually, this works really well on paint, especially if you let it sit on there for a little while, like you're pre-vacuuming and you see some paint or whatever. Put some of this on, and it actually works pretty well. And usually by the time I get there with the machine, with the fiber pad, I'll usually take it off. Not always, but sometimes you have to get down your hands and knees and work at it a little bit. But this particular, there's a couple of different versions of this. This is the water-based one, and the one in the steel metal can is the solvent-based one, I guess. But it smells bad. This one's not bad. It's actually a good general-purpose spotter as well. Anyway, so that's one of the things I carry. This is my peroxide. Now, I was mixing up my own, but I've gone back to using this brand of it. It's at the right ratio and is safe. And the only time I'm not boosting my cleaners with peroxide. I don't do that. I don't go that direction for various reasons. And if you've watched my videos, you know some of the reasons why I don't. But for coffee stains, wine and tea and that sort of thing, this stuff works really well. And urine stains, it works as well on that. And I use that in conjunction with ClO2. But this usually works faster, but is not safe on, not a good idea to put this on wool. So you don't want to be using, in most cases, you don't want to be putting peroxide on a wool fiber, because it can take the color out. This is a volatile solvent. This is absolutely the best product I've ever found of this type, but this is terribly expensive. This is $100 for that bottle right there. Horribly expensive stuff, but man, does it work. So I use it sparingly. This is Haitian. That is used for, this actually works really well on a lot of urine stains, and it is safe on wool. So if I've got a urine stain on wool, this is what I'll often use, because it works really well on that, and also works really good for cleaning fringes. Now this would normally be where I have my LOC, which I've talked about recently, but I had run out of it, and I ordered it, but it hasn't arrived yet. It's been taking a long time, but orders have been taking a while lately. So what I'm using is actually this product here. I bought this a while ago, before I got into the using the ClO2, because I was wanting to have something that was going to be good for allergens, and I started to use this product, and it works very well. It's a very good cleaner. You can order it on Amazon, and you can see that it contains something called Acryl, which is a very good anti-allergen. So when it, but anyway, I have this. I wasn't using it anymore because I got the chlorine dioxide, but then it as a cleaner works well. So I've been using it as my one of my pre-spotters now. I just put an ounce into there, and that's the replacement for the LOC until I get some more. But it's working really well, actually. So maybe I'll even switch over to that. We'll see. The other product that I've got here, this is called Soil Buster, and this is made by Carpet Cleaners Network, and it's a pre-spray. So in areas where there's a really soiled, black area, I will mist on the this pre-spray. It's a surfactant, meaning that it will lower the surface tension on the carpet fiber, allowing the detergents that are being cleaned that you're using to clean with. There, how's that for English? This just accelerates that process and gives it more cutting power. So I use that, although I use it sparingly. That's my Arguashine. Arguashine works very well. It is a carpet cleaner in its own right. I don't like using it as a carpet cleaner on its own because it does have an odor. Not actually like the odor, but I try to avoid things that have odors. So, but as a spotter, it works very, very well. It definitely is a good spotter. I have some Nano Max in here. I believe I've got it in here at about, I think that's probably 1 ounce for this trigger spare. So this is used in a spotter, so it's more concentrated than what you would normally mix in the machine, which is actually what I use in my machine is Nano Max. And of course, this is the green 97% food grade plant-based ingredients. So that is a very good spotter as well. The reason I'm using different spotters is I find that one spotter might work really well, but sometimes it doesn't. So you go to another spotter and it works better. So having choices is why I have these options. And I don't, if you notice, there's no ammonia in here. Don't like ammonia. Ammonia bad. You know, you have to just do a little bit of research on that. Ammonia fumes, you're breathing that every day, bad idea. Yes, I know people get mad when I say that, but there you go. This is a gelled product by Bonnet Pro. Gum grease and ink, works really well. This is what I usually use on gum. I'll just put it on there, agitate it, let it sit for a bit. By the time I get along there with the machine, with the fiber pad, it usually will strip it right out of the carpet fiber. And I really like this. There are various gelled or delaminating based spotters out there. This is a good one. Bonnet Pro sells that one. I also have the rust remover, which I've used a few times, and it works really well. And you don't have to use ammonia to neutralize it. And the reason why we used to use ammonia to neutralize was because the rust removers in the past were very acidic. And after applying the rust remover onto the carpet fiber, letting it sit, getting the rust out, then the proper way to do that was to then rinse it basically with a little bit of ammonia. And I used to do that for years and years, so that was why I was using ammonia in the past. But now we don't have to worry about it because this new rust remover doesn't require that. And then I carry a little bit of Nano Max right there, because sometimes when I'm getting into a job, I discover that I need to boost the cleaner, and so I normally clean out 1 ounce per gallon, and sometimes if it's really soiled, you might have to add another ounce. So I carry that with me, because if I'm up in a condo and I realize I'm going to need to increase the mix, then I've got the product there with me. So that's basically what I carry in my spotter kit. I do have a couple of other things that I carry in the van, but those are the things that I almost never use. But these are my primary products. The ones that I use the most would be, well, the Buster Pre-Spray, and these two is either LOC if I have it, or the All Rug, and the Argo are my two go-tos for spout removers. But that's basically all I'm using. And then of course I'm cleaning with Nanomax in my machine, which is a 97% food grade plant-based ingredients. So that's how I do it. There you go.